Hi everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And we have another person who's running for the Democratic nomination. On the 8th of April, Eric Swalwell from California, House of Representatives in California, announced that he was, I don't know if it was an exploratory committee or the official announcement, but he wants to run for the Democratic nomination. Now, Eric Swalwell was actually born in Iowa. He kind of looks like a corn-fed Irish Iowan boy, and he did live in California as well. I'm not sure exactly how old he was when he moved to California, but he is the representative for the 15th district, I believe it is, out of California. And he has been in the House of Representatives since 2013, so that would be, 6 years now. Okay, so I don't know that much about his platform, mainly because he just announced, and I haven't really had the time to research that. So I'm going to do this one a little bit cold. However, this type of information is really there for you to get an idea of who these people are, kind of who these people are, their vibration, and where they may have some challenges, where they have strengths. This is all stuff that we can see in a numerology and Kabbalah reading. If you would be interested in one of these for yourself, and you could include astrology with that, I do something called a Kabbalistic life reading. And it's about a 90-minute reading, and you can purchase that on my website, theseedsoftransformation.com. And most people who get them really do enjoy them. Self-knowledge is a very valuable thing. Okay, so let's talk about Eric. So Eric's full name is Eric Michael Swalwell, and he was born on the 16th of November 1980, so we're dealing with a Scorpio here. I think he's the only Scorpio, as far as I know, running at this time. Yeah, I think Cory Booker might be a Taurus. Okay. So as I do each time, the name vibration is the vibration that the person comes in on. And so within the name, we have our talents and abilities. We have the things that we need to stay in good relationship with in order to stay in good relationship with ourselves. This is what we've worked on. So this is sort of our little Felix bag of tricks that we come in with in every lifetime. The birthday is called the life lesson. When you add that up, the date of birth, in his case 11/16/1980, and that is the life lesson vibration, or the path of life. And that vibration is not always easy, especially in the beginning, because it is a lesson, and we know how much fun lessons can be, right? And then we have the last number that I utilize comes from the first name and the day of birth, and that is what I call the shadow of the eccentric angle vibration. And we get that by adding his name Eric to his date of birth, which is the 16th, and we'll go through all of that. So let's look at him as far as his name, what he already possesses. So here we have Eric Michael Swalwell. We take out the vowels, we add all the vowels up, and we get a 35/8 vibration. So the soul is his inner feminine side. It is the more introspective side of him. It is, in a way, the core of who he is. The outer personality, which is the more masculine side, tends to be more of the personality, more of the facade that people wear. But this is who he is at a very deep level. And we have a 35/8 vibration there. And the 35/8 vibration is, it's a very powerful vibration in that it is a 8. An 8 deals with karma. And when you have an 8 as one of your major numbers, you come in with a real sense of responsibility. So this is somebody who understands what it means to be responsible. And, you always have to, when people get into politics, there's always that idea of perhaps they could, reach a powerful place, or it's about that. But for the most part, I think most public servants do it to be of service. That's what public servant means. And they do have a sense of responsibility, and certainly Eric has that. The 35/8 vibration is actually located on the tree of life in Yesod. Yesod is the Sephiroth associated with the moon. Yesod, the word Yesod means foundation. And so this is somebody who has a strong foundation in what it means to be responsible, and the fact that whatever we do comes back to us. That's the 8 vibration. The 35-8 vibration is actually the vibration of a Sagittarius vibration. And so from that perspective, Sagittarius tends to be very open-minded. This is the positive aspects of Sagittarius. You could have a very closed-minded and fanatical and fundamentalist Sagittarius vibration as well, but that's not who this guy is. He wouldn't be a Democrat from California and expect to win the nomination if he was like that. So we're looking at somebody who could be broad-minded, somebody who is willing to learn and is philosophical about life. I have to say, I don't know what his chart looks like. Let me see if I can actually do that while I have you on. I should have done this before. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time. Oh, you know what? I can look at it right here. I have my ephemeris right here. So let me pull up 1980 just for poops and giggles, as it were, and see what his planets look like. November. My godson was born in 1980. These guys are very smart. Very, very smart. Okay, here we go. The 16th. Okay, according to this, it looks like he either has a an Aquarius moon or a Pisces moon. Because I don't have the time of day, I can't really say. He has his Venus in Scorpio. His Mercury in Scorpio, his Venus in Libra, his Mars in Sag. So there we have the Sagittarius, his Mars. So he would act in a very sort of he'd come from a philosophical place. His beliefs would be very important to him. He would act on his beliefs. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's see if we have any other Sag. He has quite a bit of Libra, actually. And of course, he is the Pluto in Libra generation. And his Neptune, which is a subgenerational signature, is also in Sagittarius. People who have the subgenerational signature of Sagittarius are generally very connected to nature. Or I guess religion is possible, but it's more of a sort of an archetype of the nature lover. Okay, so we have this 35-8 soul. So we know at the core of who he is, he's quite responsible. His outer personality, which is his consonants, his outer self, his talents and abilities, he has the 50/5 vibration. Now the 50/5 vibration, first of all, it's a 5. And 5 is somebody who needs a lot of freedom. And as responsible as the 8 is in his soul vibration, because it's a Sagittarian, also a Sagittarian vibration, freedom is also important to this person, to him on an inner level. And so we have that 5 on the outer level. Now that 5 on the outer level, 50/5, is connected to Pisces, the sign of Pisces. And Pisces tends to be very concerned with the least of us. And so we have this vibration of somebody who's broad-minded, responsible, philosophical, and does care about, the common person. The 50/5, when you have a 0 next to a number, it's called the God force. And so there's a little sort of specialness with that. Now that 50/5 is located down here in his root chakra in a place called Malkuth. Malkuth means kingdom. And people who have major numbers in Malkuth, are generally very well known. They become famous in their lifetime. The 45th President Trump has his life lesson in Malkuth. He is a 40/4. Barack Obama had, I believe it was his expression, 64/1. Yes, it was his expression in that place. Tom Cruise has a number in that place. A lot of P. Diddy Combs, a lot of people who are very well known, and a lot of empire builders actually have have numbers in that place, people who built empires on the planet, because Malkuth is associated with the earth plane, and people who have numbers there have experience on the earth plane and have experience about manifesting. But this 5 really is about, it's about freedom, it's about change. And so he's probably very good in situations that take a need to adapt and be changeable. And we're certainly in that kind of situation now. Now, if we were to add both those numbers up, the 35 and the 50, we get his expression vibration, and we have an 85. Now, the numerology that I use, I only go up to 78 because I connect to the tarot cards with the vibrations. And so I have to reduce it. And when you reduce it, you get to you get a 13-4 vibration. I'm just going to pull some cards here. And so I don't have my Rider-Waite deck on me, so I'm going to use my Connolly deck because they're one of the easier decks to actually look at the vibrations. So the 13/4 vibration is how he finds balance between that sort of super responsible 8 vibration and that freedom-loving 5 vibration. And the 13/4 is actually the Death card. And the Death card is about change. And the Death card is about a willingness to let go. It is associated with Scorpio, and he is a Scorpio. And he also has, what else did he have? Mercury in Scorpio? Hold on one second. I know I said it. Just give me a second here. I know I'm out of the frame. I'm sorry about that. What does he have in Scorpio? Oh dear, where are you? Where are you? Yeah, he has Mercury in Scorpio as well. And so he understands on a certain level, in order for him to stay healthy within himself, he needs to have a willingness to let go of those things that no longer serve a purpose. That's really what the 13/4 is. The 13/4 is transformation. It's about a letting go. And yet the base number is a 4. And so it's not just about letting go, but it's about letting go in order to build something new. Now, this is not the typical Death card with the guy on the horse. Unfortunately, I don't have that deck here with me. I like the symbology of that deck much better than this. But even in this deck, you can see that somebody is leaving something behind and moving on. And so there's an energy of moving on with this. So when you're super responsible and yet you need freedom, you have to be able to discern what it is that you're going to affect and what it is that is kind of a lost cause to a certain extent. And so he has that ability within him. Now that is his name. And the 13/4 is located on the Tree of Life right in here. Okay. It is on the path between this green circle, which is called Netzach, and the yellow circle, which is called Tiphareth, connecting the heart chakra to the solar plexus along this path. Now that heart chakra to the solar plexus, of course, the heart is what is, what's in your heart. The solar plexus is your will, and so he needs to be clear between his heart and his ability to get what he wants, and his sense of autonomy and his sense of self-worth. What's interesting about this vibration is that from age 36 to 45, which he is on, and it's a 9-year line, and if we look down here, we can see that it is the bottom line of his power square. Your power square goes from age 27 to 54. He is on this line from age 36 to age 45. And so that is the line of his expression. So through that period of time, he needs to really find balance within himself, to let go of those things that no longer serve him, and to move on and build something new from that. So that's pretty interesting. All right, let's talk about his life lesson. So his life lesson is his birthday added up. And when we add his birthday, we actually get a 45/9 vibration. Now, of course, the 9 vibration is the vibration of unconditional love. In a 9 vibration, we can see the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. And so through his life, he will be exposed to that. He will see great beauty, and he will see to a certain extent, some depravity. Now, I'm not saying he's depraved. That's not what I mean. But he on some level gets exposed to it, as most nines do, because 9 is about learning to understand the human condition. Now, the 45-9 is actually a Scorpio vibration. And again, he has his sun and he has his Mercury in Scorpio. And on the Tree of Life, it is located in Geburah, this little red circle here. Now, Geburah is the Sephiroth associated with Mars. He has Mars in Sagittarius. Geburah is the place of instant karma. And so this is where you have to tread very carefully when you have a number in Geburah, especially a life lesson or a shadow. Because if you have it as a soul vibration, or if you have it as an outer personality, I guess the expression, the balance between would also be challenging a little bit, but most challenging when it's a life lesson and a shadow. Because in a life lesson, you're learning the lesson, and instant karma is instant karma. So you can't really get away with a lot when you have a vibration in Geburah. It's also a Mars vibration, so you're learning how to sort of marshal your forces. That's kind of a double thing, but anyway, marshal your forces. And because it's a 45-9 and it's a Scorpio vibration, it's about your emotions. So he's learning how to control his emotions. And 9 sometimes, especially with the 8 soul, can be a combination where you can get very angry. And so he has to be very careful of what he says when he's mad, because Geburah sits in the throat chakra. And so everything that comes out of his mouth, he's going to be held accountable for. So he probably on some level knows that already, but that is part of his life lesson. Although he's still young, so it's very possible that he's not completely aware of that. I certainly wasn't completely aware of my vibrations, my life lesson vibration, until I was probably in my late 40s. So it takes time. It takes time. I might be a late bloomer, so I don't know. Anyway, all right. So that's his life lesson. He's learning he's finding his voice in this life, right? Throat chakra. And then we have his shadow vibration. And his shadow is, if we take the name Eric, which vibrates to a 26, and add a 16 to that. And 26 and 16 is a 42-6 vibration. Now, base number 6 is learning about responsibility. Learning what's your responsibility and what's not your responsibility. Okay, so that's one thing. So having the 8, super responsible, and being sympathetic to the downtrodden, I would say. Sometimes we spend a lot of time, when you have those combination of things, spend a lot of time in what you call casting pearls before swine. You give too much to people, you give them too much latitude, and you waste your energy. So this is possible. One of the things about the 42/6 vibration is the 42/6 vibration is the 2 of Cups. And so there's an idealism around love. It's as if love is higher vibrational than what most people can reach. And so he could be unrealistic in love. He could have the original rose-colored glasses with this vibration. And so there can be disappointment in that when people don't come up to your expectations. When you have your shadow, wherever your shadow vibration sits, it tends to be where you have a blockage. And energetically, this is his third eye. Okay, so here's the vibration, the 2 of Cups, right? And we can see the infinity symbol here. Okay, it's an 8, right? He has the 8 soul. So this guy knows about as you sow, so shall you reap for sure. But we have this here, the shadow in Hokmah, which is associated with divine masculine, 42/6, located in the third eye. And so he can be blinded to certain things, okay? It isn't until you heal that vibration that that third eye opens. So I don't know anything about... The shadow generally is more of a personal thing, I think, except for certain people who it's very, very evident what their shadow is. But that's people, like, as an example, the president, the 45th president, his shadow is a 37-1 vibration. And it's in his third eye, and it's a 1. And so 1 could either mean you think too much of yourself or you don't think enough of yourself. and we know which one he is. But what it does is it blinds him to reality. He only sees, it's like a very narrow beam for him, and he doesn't see who he's hurting, or and nor does he care really. And so he's blind. And so we have it, and it's also in Hokmah, interestingly enough. But for Eric, we have it in Hokmah as well, but because the 6 is a different vibration, it's going to manifest itself differently. And so chances are maybe he gives a little bit too much away. 6s are known for helping people, like they see the potential in somebody, so they like put a lot of energy. And you know, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, and that can be very frustrating for the 6. And there's also this idea of conditions that you put on love. He could be too idealistic around love. He could just be generally too idealistic. Maybe he needs a little dose of realism. I don't know anything about Eric. I'm just telling you what I know about the numbers. Okay, so let's look at his blueprint. This is his divine triangle, and this is the first 27 years of his life. This is the second 27 years of his life. This is the third 27 years of his life. In his youth square, he had a 7 vibration, a 43-7. 43-7 is a water sign. And so in his youth, he was learning who he was through his feeling nature. Okay? And now we have his power square, which goes from age 27 to age 54. And he's only, what, 38 years old now? 38? Hold on. Yes, 38. He just turned 38. So he's just 2 years into this line. He still has quite a bit to go. So he's not even halfway through his power square. His power square is a 41/5. And the 41/5 is the Ace of Cups. And wherever you have a square, wherever you see a square, you know there's a challenge. And the Ace of Cups is your emotions. And so here we have another, you would think that what could be the challenge in this, right? But it's very possible that he has too much emotion. With Scorpio, we know that they feel stuff. They feel things very, very deeply. And in fact, this card is associated with Scorpio. It's the root of water, Scorpio. The root of is the fixed signs, okay? So, so he has to learn how to modulate his emotions. That's his challenge through his power square. And if he can do that, so he in his youth square, he's learning what he's feeling, and then in his power square, he's learning how to manage those feelings that he feels about himself and about others. And then when he gets into his wisdom square, which is quite a ways away, year-wise, we go into a 30/3. That's the Four of Wands, and it is a Leo vibration, the vibration of leadership. And so here's somebody who is going to be more than likely in the public eye for a long, long time. Okay, so just a couple of more things, and I'm going to lower this a little bit so we can look at the numbers that he was, the vibrations that he was on when he decided to run. So his last birthday was in 2018, and he started an 11 vibration year, a 3811 vibration. 11 is a 3811 is Scorpio. It's the Queen of Cups. And he announced right here, this is first 4 months, he was in a 13-4 vibration. That's the death vibration. So letting go of one thing and moving on to a new thing, which is obviously what he's doing, right? In this vibration, when he announced, he was actually in an 11 vibration. 11 is about choice. So he's in an 11 year and 11 vibration. When Donald Trump won the presidency in 2016, he was in an 11 vibration, okay? And then in July, he goes into a 10-1 vibration until his birthday. Now, his the actual 2020 race is right here in this part of his personal year chart. He'll be in a 39/3 vibration, which is the Knight of Cups. So here's somebody who's very idealistic, sort of on a quest, looking for love, you know, that kind of thing, creativity. And he's actually in an 11 vibration at that time. So it's sort of, his 11s are all vibrating, and 11s are master numbers. And he himself does not have a master number in his chart, at least with the numbers that I've looked at this point. And that doesn't necessarily mean, it's not necessarily bad for him as far as making the choice at 11 on an 11 vibration, because an 11 vibration is a choice vibration. But it will be a challenge, and it will be a challenge to keep balanced through this whole process. So, yeah, so let's see, what else do I want to say? I think that's it. That's all I want to say about Eric. So hopefully this is helpful for you in not maybe making a decision, or just learning a little bit more about somebody from a different perspective than like watching the news, because everybody has some sort of angle with that, and it's hard to be aware of where everybody's coming from. But this guy looks like a really decent fellow. I mean, there hasn't really been a single one that I haven't seen a strength or a weakness in. And so we're all human. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. If you'd like to find out what your strengths and weaknesses are, you probably know it already. But sometimes it's nice to get a third party to just tell you how wonderful you are. I know, I like it. So you could contact me to have one of these done for yourself. Again, I'll put it below, theseedsoftransformation.com. Go to the purchase page, choose the Kabbalistic Life Reading, and you too can have this done for you. Okay, take care. And I know I promised Andrew Yang I will get to him. I promise. Okay, bye. Take care.